Well, thank you for joining us. My name is Walisha Wilson Menifee. I'm the founder of New Life Second Chance Outreach, and this is another one of our 2026 Georgia Reentry Awareness Month events to support individuals who we serve, Georgians impacted by an arrest, conviction, or incarceration. And because employment is one of the largest and biggest barriers, aside, same thing with housing, we want to make sure that you are successful when you are looking for a job. Why? Because so many of you are doing it wrong. You're showing up in pink jogging pants. You're showing up with your children. You're showing up smelling like weed. You're showing up with bonnets on your head. You're showing up with revealing clothes. You're showing up talking to your on your phone, texting while you're supposed to be focusing on your employer. And then you wonder why you're not getting the job. So we have Kathy Rosado here with us from Goodwill of Southern Rivers, who is going to help give you some great tips regarding what you should be doing and what you should not be doing if you want to get the job. It's not just about going somewhere to try to get a job and expect that your good looks and your handsome face is going to get you a job. Employers have businesses to run, and they want to make sure that folks are not only knowledgeable, eager to work, but also that folks are going to be able to behave in professional manners, that you are reliable, that you are loyal, and that you're going to work. And so we also understand that a lot of folks just don't know, which is kind of hard to believe since we have this thing called the internet and everything is free. There are just no excuses to not grab the information that's being given to you for free. So we want to make sure that you are successful, because we, particularly for those of you who are in Columbus, we are hosting a job fair. 100% every employer, every resource provider that will be there are felony friendly, background friendly. So there's no excuse to say my record is keeping me from getting a job, or there's my record is keeping me from getting housing or rental assistance, because we're on this call to make sure we give you what you need to better prepare you, how to respond to interview questions, how to approach employers, what questions to ask about salary and these kind of things, what to do and what not to do. So without further ado, we're going to have Kathy, who's going to share her screen, go through this awesome slide. And this is session 2. We have one more session. This will be our last opportunity working with trying to get you all the information that you need to be prepared for a job fair that is next Wednesday, the 29th at noon.
That's
Was that going to be
yes.
at noon? At
Yep.
noon Eastern Standard Time. So whether you're in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, these job tips are universal for wherever you go. So thank you for joining us. And Kathy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's look for this. Share. Can you see my screen?
There we go.
Perfect. I'm gonna start it. Let me make sure it works.
Are you trying to do the slide? There you go.
There we go. Okay. So know before you go. So what we're trying to do here is prepare for success in your job search. So the purpose of this training is for you to be prepared before you go to any hiring event or even an interview. So whether you're rebuilding your life, reentering the community, changing careers, or even looking for a second chance, preparation is always the key. Employers are always looking for reliable, motivated people who are ready to work. The training will provide practical tips to help you make a positive first impression and increase your chances of getting hired. So why are hiring events important? Why do they matter? Sometimes employers hire people they met at a hiring event even before they post their job online. You'll see many employers will have a list of jobs that haven't even been put on Indeed or any of these job-related boards. So in this case, you have a lot of other opportunities, not only to get a job, but you'll be able to meet the employer face-to-face. You'll learn about available positions, not posted yet. You'll practice networking, talking to them, talking to other people who may have the same interests as you. You can get interviews on the spot. And not only that, you'll be able to discover community resources. One of the first things that we always emphasize is first impressions do matter. Employers do notice your smile. If you come in with a smile, they'll see that you're somebody that you can build trust with, and the interactions are more welcoming and more positive. If you go in with a serious face, they might be a little bit hesitant to approach you, perhaps. Confidence, always believe in yourself. That's one of the things that you should go in when you go into a hiring event or when you go into an interview. Believe in yourself and in your abilities, your attitude. Always have a positive attitude. Be respectful and show enthusiasm because you want a job. Maintain eye contact. Eye contact builds trust and shows confidence and attention. Your appearance, very important. Dress neatly and present yourself professionally. And communications, very important. Listen to what the employer is saying, speak clearly your thoughts, and build that positive connection right off the bat. So, as I mentioned in the first impressions, you got to dress for success. You do not need to buy expensive clothing to look professional, to look clean. Just wear clean, wrinkle-free clothes and something that fits appropriately. Keep your hair neat and groomed. Don't go in with a bonnet or anything like that, or don't go in with your hair unbrushed. Avoid clothing with offensive language or graphics. Nothing that has any words that would be offensive to other people. Wear to closed-toe shoes when it's possible, especially for the ladies. Depending on your outfit, you can wear some decent sandals, something that will look elegant with your outfit, and minimize the excessive jewelry and accessories. Something simple, small earrings, a simple chain, nothing that would be like really big, going down to your neck or something like that. Good examples are polo shirts, button up shirts, blouses, khakis, dress pants, clean jeans if appropriate, and closed toe shoes, depending on the outfit that you're wearing. Avoid, we've had this discussion and I want to repeat it. I have experience with a lot of hiring events. Avoid pajamas, avoid dirty clothing, ripped clothing. I know we love our ripped jeans, but there's a limit to the rippedness. Offensive slogans on your shirts, revealing outfits, house slippers, Crocs. Leave that at home. And if you're gonna wear a perfume, make sure or a cologne, make sure it's subtle, not over empowering that we can get it start sneezing of the allergy. Personal hygiene is very important. It matters more than you can realize. So before arriving, you make sure you took a shower, brush your teeth, use deodorant, comb your hair, brush it, trim your nails if needed. Your appearance won't get you the job, but poor hygiene can keep you from getting one. So present yourself professionally. Other etiquettes that really matter before meeting an employer: do not chew gum. Don't go in snapping your mouth and blowing bubbles. Avoid smoking or using marijuana. Believe it or not, even though we don't smell it on ourselves, other people around us will smell it. Ensure no strong odors are on you, not only from the smoking and using marijuana, but maybe you were at a place and the smoke environment has a strong smell. Make sure you don't have that smell with you. Turn your cell phone off or on silent. Arrive at least 10 or 15 minutes early. Listen carefully to what the employer is saying. Speak clearly and respectfully, and always thank the employer for their time. Like I mentioned with the phone earlier, your phone can cost you the job. So put your phone on silent, or you can turn it off, because if you go in texting while you're talking to the person, that's disrespectful. If you're answering a call while talking to the person, that's disrespectful. If you're scrolling through social media while you're waiting to be attended, that's disrespectful, because regardless if the person is If the employer is not talking to you at that moment, but maybe talking to a group and you be part of that group, and him seeing that you're scrolling to social media, it doesn't show that you're interested. No gum. Avoid having gum, having candy, or even eating while you're speaking or being spoken to. Your social media matters. Why you should clean up your social media before applying jobs. Your online presence is part of your first impression. Maybe the employer may be interested in knowing more about you. They are curious. They'll go and they'll see what's going on with your life. If you have something negative on your social media, they will see that. Employers often review social media before making a decision. If they see profanity, offensive language, or inappropriate posts, that can raise concerns about professionalism. Negative comments about previous employers, coworkers, or customers can be a big red for them. Sometimes we may throw out a rant because we had a negative situation at our prior work or with somebody else, and we're just venting on social media. That will work against you. Photos or videos involving illegal activity, excessive drinking, or risky behavior may hurt your chances. Inappropriate jokes, discriminatory remarks, or bullying posts can cost you your job. So you got to be very mindful of, yes, you can have a good time with your family, your friends, but know where the limit is. And review your privacy settings. But remember, nothing online is never completely private. You can remove or untag contact that doesn't really reflect who you are, and especially if you don't want that negative image being shown on the social media or in the internet for that matter. Things you put on the social media can be searched and can pop up. Social media pro tips. Use social media to showcase your strength, volunteer work, certifications, your accomplishments, and career interests. Keep your profile picture professional, something decent. Doesn't have to be a professional picture, but it's something that will reflect your personality. And ensure your username and email addresses are appropriate. Ask yourself, would I be comfortable if a hiring manager saw this? Another question you can ask yourself, does this post represent the person that I am trying to project, that I want the employer to know of me? And would I say this during a job interview? If you say anything negative in your social media, is it something you're going to say in your job interview? Remember, your social media can either open doors or close them. Make sure your online presence reflects the professional you want employers to see. Here's another reason why during hiring events, you shouldn't bring children. We understand that childcare can be a situation that can hinder us sometimes. But employers expect candidates to be focused and professional. Children may become bored, restless, or need your attention during conversations. It can make it difficult to complete an application or even participate in on-site interviews. Recruiters may have limited time and could move on to the next candidate. If they see that you have your child and you have to pay attention to your child, they'll be like, man, this person's not available for this interview right now, so they'll pass to the other one. Another thing is hiring events can be really crowded, noisy, and not always child friendly. It may create a safety concern in busy event spaces. There are hiring events that have very minimal people that come to it, where versus there are hiring events that have a lot of people coming to it and a lot of vendors as well. Bringing children can unintentionally distract you from your qualifications and your experience. Arranging childcare allows you to present your best, most confident self. If childcare isn't available, contact the event organizer to ask about accommodation or future hiring events. If for some reason you don't have childcare for a particular hiring event, coordinate for the next hiring event. Applying live, the employer offers virtual or electronic applications. Attend another hiring event when you can focus entirely on the job that you're looking for. Key message: your goal is to make it a strong first impression, giving employers your full attention and being able to give them the opportunity, your full attention. This can definitely improve your chances of landing an interview or a job offer. Another thing that you have to be very mindful of is creating professional emails. As you can see, good examples are using your name or using your name with a number at email.com. Please, let's avoid the emails we used when we were growing up. Party Guy 123, Cutie Pie, Miss Pageant, Thug Life. There are so many emails that as we're growing up, we create, we think it's funny. But after ready to get your first job, you want to ensure that your email reflects the person that you want the employer to see. Your email addresses should make a positive impression, and your email address is often the first thing that the employer will see. So if they see an email that's kind of funny, they may question themselves if they're going to reach out to you.
Yeah, and I want to just chime in on that as well, which I'm always saying. I think when we first, even though we've been in operation since 2012, we got our first office in 2016. And that was one of the challenges where a young man and a young woman actually came into the office. We had an office in Columbus downtown on 12th Street. And they basically wanted to know, I'm really, I don't know. I just want to know what's going on. One of them was so vulgar. It was Miss Good at Yahoo. And I like to my eyes just got big because she was like well into maybe her 34, mid 30s, at an age where nobody cares that that's what you proclaim that you got. But why would an employer need that? And also, when he came in, his was like number one dope boy or trap boy or something like that. And I said, so
Yeah,
basically, you want to go ahead and let them know that you sold dope? And he was like, well, how he, what means it's not the issue is, for one, Georgia is a fire at will state. They can fire you because you came in with yellow earrings on. So don't
hmm,
give people a reason. And then when I specifically talk to my people who are formerly incarcerated or have something on your record, and it doesn't take from the fact that you are skilled, you're talented, but everything needs to align up. Nobody cares how many certificates you got while you were in prison. Nobody cares how good you can draw or drive a truck. You've got to come correct. So you can't say, oh, I
hmm,
got this, and just based on that merit alone, they're going to hire me because I know how to drive trucks. I know how to bag an 18-wheeler in bad like that. But if your Facebook page is jacked up, if your attitude is nasty, you don't know how to get along with people because you already trying to shank the next person you see because you done served time in jail. You got to change and transform yourself completely, and that includes mentally. There's a thing in the Bible that
exactly.
says, so as a man thinketh, that a man is. And if you're saying that at this point, I want to look for a job, you should completely shut down. The first thing you ought to be doing is, if you don't have a professional email, you need to be changing your email. Gmails are free. You can get 100 emails on
Yep.
Gmail for free. There's no charge. So there's no reason why people are still having Gmails at the age of 45 and 50 that they had at 15 years old. Best bubblegum popper at Yahoo. Don't know. It's just it needs to match your age and it needs to match your mindset. And then the other one is also going into it, um, and by being a fire at will state, folks don't realize that a lot of time employers will trip you up. They may ask you questions that they are illegally. They're not supposed to be asking you. They're not supposed to ask if you're married. They're not supposed to ask if you have children. But
Yep.
guess what? They have a business to run. They don't have time for you to be calling out saying, I got to go to my child's school. This child sick. This child that. So you putting on your resume, mom of 10 at Gmail, baby, you already struck yourself out, because if you've got 10 kids, that lets them know you're not going to be coming to work some days. You're going to call out, you're not reliable. So why set yourself up for that? I've seen them where it's not really bad, but I've seen people that have number one Auburn fan or number one Georgia fan, and them like, okay, what if your boss is a Georgia fan? What do you do then? Oh, they wouldn't fire me. Yes, they would. They would completely.
Yes, they will.
Yes, people, especially if their entire office is lit up with red and black Georgia stuff, they not hiring an Auburn fan, or the other one was something politically. And you want to be
Oh,
very careful because you should not be mixing politics with anything. And for
nope.
those who do come, I know Elizabeth, I don't know if she's going to talk about this, but please don't come to the job fair with political candidates on it because you never know who's sitting at that table. Those people literally have the job in their hand. And you coming to the table can give people the wrong impression of probably what you're going to be talking about on your job. And you also have to be mindful that you're going to have to work with people of different races, nationalities, genders, cultures, and you don't want to go in. And I'm assuming I'm definitely know you've already talked about the clothing thing, but I definitely want to hit on that because
Yes.
people expect folks to say, "Well, we have a right to who we want to vote for." Fine, you do. Everybody has a right, but a job fair is not the place for that. Job fair is not the
Nope.
place for a vulgar T-shirt. Is not the place for any type of political stuff, any type of rude gestures. Just go in like you're looking for a job. Go in like you're looking for a job. But definitely with the professional emails, because you get there before you even get the job. Because most time people will tell you to email your resume in
That's right.
order to do that. And yeah. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, y'all emails are messing y'all up.
It's a good one, Alicia. I really agree with you 100%. So continuing on, like she says, don't give an employer a reason to eliminate you. You got to be professional, be positive, avoid discussing personal problems or negative comments of your previous employment. Be respectful. Be respectful with everybody, not only to the person you're talking to, be respectful with the person next to you, be respectful with everybody that's around you. Focus on your qualifications and on your strength. Employers are always looking to hire people that are focused on their skills, their experience, and their potential. So the best, you give the best of you, and they're going to see the best of you. But you got to be positive, and you got to present yourself professionally. Don't volunteer information that hasn't been asked. That's really important. Sometimes we get nervous and we share too much. So if you have a felony background, don't bring it up immediately. Focus first on your skills, on your work history, on your strength. If asked, don't avoid it either. Take responsibility, be brief. Answer the questions without oversharing how you got to where you got, and keep your responses focused on your skills, again, on your experience, the goals, and your ability to perform the job. If needed, just quickly explain how you overcame your challenges and what you learned from it. Employers do appreciate honesty and accountability. Don't be timid. Engage in conversation. I know it could be overwhelming to be in a hiring event or even going to a job interview. Sometimes some job interviews, you'll actually have a panel of people interviewing you. But don't let that kind of situation get you timid or avoid make you avoid answering questions. On contrary, ask questions. You can ask them, what positions are they hiring for? At the job fair, what positions are you hiring for today? What are the qualities that make someone successful in this role? If they offer training, what does the training look like? Are there opportunities for advancement? Once you have the information about the position you're looking for, is there an opportunity to grow within the company? You can also ask questions like, what does a typical day for that position look like? In some cases, if you don't have the training that they are looking for, if you don't have that certification or certificate, there are many employers that offer on-the-job training and then some, because there are more opportunities to continue growing within the organization. If they continue offering, hey, there's an opportunity to get certified in A, B, or C, take that opportunity because it's employer paid as well. And if you don't get the job, sometimes a follow-up conversation would be very helpful as well. Like, is there anything that I could have done to strengthen my application? And another question you can ask your employer: how soon are they looking to fill the positions? These are a lot of questions that you could take into consideration when looking for a job, and then some, following up with them on their website, and filling in the blanks that you may not have the answer to. Employers want to hire people who can communicate, so engaging in a conversation will be more positive for you. It's a light professional conversation, and the employers will have the ability to see your personality during this momentum. This is one thing that a lot of us have a hard time answering. So tell me about yourself. So when we're thinking about talking about ourselves, we want to talk about who we are professionally. We want to talk about our experience or our skills, and we want to talk about what we are looking for now. Let's focus on those three things. Practice. Make a short answer for yourself. Keep it short for 60 or 90 seconds. The example we have here is my name is James. I have experience in warehouse operations and customer service. Over the last few years, I worked on improving my skills and preparing for new opportunities. I'm looking for a position where I can contribute, continue learning, and grow within the company. Bam, this is who I am. This is my experience. This is the skills that I have, and this is what I'm looking for. Straight to the point. How to answer what type of work you're looking for. One of the biggest mistakes is saying, I'll do anything. No, you won't. You got to be very, very intentional when you're looking for a job. Look at the job description. While employers appreciate flexibility, they want to know where your interests and your strengths are. Show that you have thought about your future and your career goals. So if you worked in customer service, let them know you're interested in customer service because you like working with people. If you want to work in a manufacturing company, let them know you want to work in manufacturing because I enjoy hands-on work. Or interested in warehouse operations and logistics. Or if you have experience in the health industry, I'm looking for opportunities in healthcare support. And healthcare is very, very wide. So you have a lot of opportunities to be showcase what you're interested in working in and the experience that you have. Addressing a lack of employment experience. While many individuals believe they have nothing to offer because they have limited work history, that's not the case. The truth is that employers value the skills, reliability, and the willingness to work. So focus on what you've done. Consider some of your experiences or skills, such as community or volunteer work you've done, or maybe you've had the experience to care for somebody, caregiving responsibilities. Let them know that you have trainings, whether it's in school or a certification or even a Goodwill certification, or the experience you've had working at church activities. You might have volunteered to work at an event that the church might have had. And leadership and apprentices is also an experience that you've had. All of these sum up that over time you've acquired different kind of skills and different kind of experiences that you can showcase in your resume and you can talk about. Addressing employment gaps. Employment gaps are a common and can occur for many reasons. Best practices. Always be honest. There's no reason why not to be honest. Keep your explanations brief. Focus on what you learned or how you have prepared to go back into employment. And redirect the conversation again towards your goal and your qualifications. You know you have the experience, you know you have the qualifications. So let's focus on that. Let them know that you've been away from the workforce for a while, but during that time, you focused on yourself to grow professionally in training and preparing yourself for employment. And now, just you let them know how excited you are to get back into the work field. When discussing incarceration, you could be very professional about it. First things first, acknowledging the past. Many individuals are nervous about discussing this. The key is to be honest, to be accountable, and but focusing on the growth. Taking responsibility, for example, I made mistakes in the past that resulted in a period of incarceration. During that time, I took the opportunity to reflect, to learn, and improve myself. Since then, I have completed training, or maybe I've developed new skills, and remain committed to building a stable and productive future. I am ready to contribute positively to an employer who is willing to give me an opportunity. It's direct to the point, and it is an honest conversation you can have. Highlight your positive changes. Focus on the future. When employer asks, those are all the areas that you can focus on. Avoid blaming others. Things happen. We may get aggravated, but we don't want to go back in time and start complaining about it. You're looking at the present and the future. Don't become defensive. I know some questions you may have a reaction. Let's calm ourselves and be professional when we're addressing the conversation. Don't share unnecessary details, and much less don't speak negatively of the justice system. Keep your response brief, professional, and forward focused, focusing on the present and focusing on your future. When you do come to a hiring event or a resource event, visit every table. Even if you don't find your dream job, you may discover other opportunities, better opportunities, training programs you didn't know about, community resources, something that you may have been looking for, haven't found it, but find it in an event. You may find housing assistance, transportation assistance, education programs, apprenticeships, and second chance employers. All of these is what we're hoping to have next week. So these are great opportunities to walk around all the tables and ask questions. What services you could take advantage of. Be prepared. Before attending a career fair or an interview, bring multiple copies of your resume. For the career fair, definitely bring multiple copies of your resume. Because if you have an opportunity to share your resume with 5 to 10 employers will have the opportunity to see who you are. Know your work history. Don't create a resume by ChatGPT or AI help. If you're going to create your resume, make sure that the information you have on the resume is your own experience. If the employer looks at your resume and start asking you questions, be prepared to know how to answer. It's very sad to have a resume and somebody asking you questions and you're trying to look at your resume to figure out what is it that I wrote. 3, have references ready. If you have a few good references for your past employers, professional colleagues, or even friends that can vouch for you, have them ready. Research the companies attending. The flyers out there, there's multiple employers out there. You can look them up on the website and go onto the website to figure out what is the company about, what kind of positions do they have, and what kind of jobs would you be able to do. Practice introducing yourself. 60, 90 seconds. Look in the mirror. Talk to yourself until you feel more confident. Bring a notebook and pen. You never know who you're going to meet in the job fair or the career fair to give you that information and be able to, hey, let me get back with you, or where can I call you to follow up with you, or give me an email so I can send a thank you letter. Confidence is key. One of the biggest challenges for an individual seeking a second chance is overcoming self-doubt. Be confident in yourself. Every interview is an opportunity for you to tell your story, to demonstrate your growth, and to show employers the value that you're bringing. Your past may be part of your story, but it does not determine your future. Focus on your strength, prepare thoroughly, present yourself professionally, and let employers see the person you are today, not the circumstances that you have overcome. You are more than your past. Your skills and experience is what matters. Employers are looking for people who show up, work hard, and contribute positively. Confidence comes with preparation. This presentation has all the key information to help you build that confidence. Remember, your future starts today. Dress professionally, put your phone away, be confident, believe in yourself 100%, and come in with a smile. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. This was a very good session. And I know people are probably saying, well, why do I need to go to session one? Why do I need to look at session two? And why do I need, because different things are discussed at each section. So
Yep.
right now we want to open it up for anybody who has any questions. Feel free to take yourself off mute if you have any questions, and let us know where you are tuning in from, particularly if you're in Columbus, Georgia, because we want to give you some additional information if you're in Columbus. But wherever you're joining, at least let us know where you're joining from, and thank you. So do you have any questions? You can raise your hand or you can just come off mute. Onyango, I like that. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. You don't have any, do you have any questions? Or you first, let me ask you if you're impacted by a record or you're here to get the information for a loved one. You're muted. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Hey. Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
Hi.
Yes, as you can see, my name is Chesfa Onyango. I'm here to listen, to get information, to prepare myself fully for as I'm transitioning from being a student to working. So I'm looking to get a job. Then I thought it's better I go into your workshop to get some detail or information to prepare myself. Possibly when I get an employer or an interview, I'm ready to answer or provide the responses according to the way you have explained. Though I am sorry, I forgot I have been doing some work here. I forgot the time I had registered, so I'm remembering. Oh, I had to
That's okay.
enter
We're
this
gonna
session.
send the recording to you. We're gonna send the
Yeah.
recording to you with this link and the link from last week. Both of them are really good. So let me ask you, do you have anything on your criminal record or you don't?
No, I don't.
So you
I've
already
never.
you're not even behind the eight ball like most of the folks that we know.
No.
But are you in Atlanta? You're in Columbus? Where are you at?
I am here in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, you're in Augusta.
I've been a student, a PhD graduate. I just completed like 2 weeks ago. I did my defense for my PhD, so I'm looking really for a job.
So what type of particular tips did you come on that you may have missed? What kind of questions? What are you most apprehensive or nervous about, or wanting more information on how to approach? Interviewing, dressing for success, or what?
Yeah, basically interviews sometimes are different, especially when you have never, for instance, if you have never attended one, can start tension, you are going to meet new people, and then you are not very sure which part you prepare to which point and from which section you answer and to which point. When you say you as Sister Catherine Rosando said, you have to say or you have to respond to the point, not too much and not shorter. So like you have to be like you have to know the key points you need to respond to. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less is more.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, I've been applying for various jobs. Initially, I didn't know even how to do it. Basically, I'm international student, so here the way I realized the application goes, they are a bit different. It's not the way we do in my home country. I come from Kenya, Africa, so I realized here it's really like even application itself is a job. It's like you have to really read and understand what the key this job description they require. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, like Walicia's mentioning, this presentation is recorded and it's going to give you tips. If you go back to it from the beginning, it'll give you those tips that you're looking for. Definitely. The first impressions, addressing for success, but most of all, confidence, keeping that confidence, coming in with a positive attitude,
Uh-huh.
You're starting out great. You have a great smile. So if you go into a job, you'll be able to present yourself that way without pretending to be somebody that you're not.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's and
I
yes.
have one question. I'm remembering as I am, because you talked about having multiple CVs or resume. So I was wondering, like, for instance, when you are looking for a job, like, for instance, for me, I've worked in healthcare, I've worked in the laboratory in research for like 10 to 15 years, not for like this maximum, I can say 15 years from 2010 to now. I've been working. So where I was working was a private university. And for instance, I remember I could work from counseling for VCT, HIV testing, clinical laboratory testing, doing research with the professors, and sometimes I remember there's a time I could like offer the services like presenting, like preparing the practicals for students. And then when I'm doing now, my CV is kind of wide. And then I'm wondering, how best can I present my skills? Basically, when I'm doing this, sometimes I'm like, do forget about the some of the skills I've done, like teaching? Uh, Maybe when I'm applying to one job, let's say I'm applying for research, so it's like I have to kind of uh, not like open like say about the teaching, because if I write the CV becomes like 15 pages.
Oh no,
I think that's a great question.
it is.
And I want to kind of add on to that because I've had that question before.
Mhm.
What do you do if you have different? I think this is what you're saying, Miss Anyango. If
Yeah,
you have different experiences, so you may have had trucking, you may have had warehousing, you may have had teaching, you may have had healthcare.
yeah.
But let's say you need a job and you need a job bad.
Mhm.
So you're now going to apply in a field that's none of those.
Uh-huh.
How do you
Present it.
when do you present that, get all of this on one resume
Mm-hmm.
where it's not to the employer saying, well, she hired looking for an application at chicken plant, but she got healthcare, warehousing, construction. How do you do that? Because I've heard in several places where people, and I do it myself, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I have 4 different resumes. One is
Mm-hmm.
for my activism, one is for case management, and I use the resume for the one that I'm applying, but
Mm-hmm.
then I find it challenging when I do apply for one. The last time I had case management might have been 8 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
I've had recent jobs since. So I think that's kind of what she's asking too. How do you put that on one resume? First, let us know if a 1 or 2 page, because somebody last week on Saturday had a 6 page resume. So I told them to keep it down to 1 or 2. But how
Mm-hmm.
do you address that when you have different such a wide variety of fields? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and then here, when you go for a job fair, you expect to get many employers. For instance, you get a certain institution. Okay, they are different, not one. They are different with different careers. Like, for instance, maybe someone is looking for microbiology, another one is looking for clinical laboratory diagnosis, another one is looking for safety personnel, of which I qualify since I've been working in this kind of an area. Another one is looking for a teacher, of which I qualify. I've taught somewhere at one point. And now my CV, look at it. Oh, should I prepare like a different CVs for different category of job?
Okay. So one of the things that we do at Goodwill, we have this program, it's called Entry.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do, we put in all of your skill sets, all of your experience is going to go into the system. It's going to build one resume. However, you
Mm-hmm.
have the opportunity. Let's say you find that perfect job that you're looking for. What
Mm-hmm.
the resume is going to do, it's going to do a comparison side by side. Okay, you want to work in this area. Let's
Mm-hmm.
compare your resume to see where your skill sets or what's missing. Or it's all about rewriting the verbiage, changing the verbiage a little bit so it can match the job that you're looking for. I
Yeah.
agree with you. Sometimes it's hard. I have 25 years of experience in the nonprofit world, but in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
So my resumes were really, really long. So I'm like, I need to shrink it, but I don't want to miss the important things of my resume. So we try to summarize it. Sometimes we do the bullet points or we do the paragraph, just a summary in a paragraph with all of your experience in there. So at least with Goodwill, Southern Industry as well as other Goodwills, they have that program where you can summarize it, focusing on what really stands out in the job. But the other option is, and we all do it, sometimes we have to modify our resume to go based on what that employer is looking for. But one of the recommendation is also, if you have a cover letter, put in that cover letter everything that you can't put in your resume. Hey, this is who I am, and I am looking for a job in this. And based on your job description, I have the experience in A, B, and C, and I have this and I have that. Because sometimes everything that we want to say, we can't put it on the resume.
Yeah.
So your letter of presentation is your cover letter. You have a chance to introduce who you are, you've done, and how your experience is the qualifying factor for their job. It really helps. The cover letter sometimes is the first thing the employer will see before looking at your resume.
Okay, how many pages should be a cover letter ideally?
Excuse me?
The page numbers of the cover letter.
Okay, the cover letter, I would suggest it to be one page. So when you're doing the cover letter, just look at the font. Look at the different fonts. Use Times Roman is a little bit smaller, and you can use an 11. So you can make sure that it fits nice in there. And for resume, no more than 2 pages.
Okay, again, from that point, when you are talking about the cover letter and the resume, now that the resume is 2 pages, the cover letter is 1 page. Okay, should the cover letter reflect what is in the resume?
It could reflect different points in it, because the cover letter is your opportunities to show your skill sets, that you have the experience. Let's say if you want to be an educator, if you want to work in the laboratory or whatever, those are the keywords you want to make sure matches to the job description. You want to make sure that, okay, I have the experience that's describing the job description. I can put that in my cover letter, and within your resume, it should be in there one way or another. It's not that you're so focused, but if your resume demonstrates what you're talking about in your cover letter, it should match.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And was it last week? Was it date? Which date was it? Was it 12? There was a job fair in Goodwill around which number? Okay, what number was that? I tried, I could not reach the office. Wait. Office wait. I know Goodwill, which is here at the Willsboro Road. But the other one,
I wouldn't know.
I looked for it, I could not find this.
I'm not from the Augusta area, but I do know that we have different regions of different Goodwills. So what you want to look for is a Goodwill Career Center, because we have a lot of stores, but you want to go to the Career Center. That's where you'll get everything related to careers, to resumes, to job seeking, job fairs, and so forth.
It was good. I joined. I got something. Thank you.
Absolutely, anytime.
Yeah.
And then we have also a partner that's in the Augusta area, Reinforce, and they do a lot of, even though a lot of the focus is for individuals who are impacted, they do have programs. All their programs are open to the public, and we'll make sure that we send you the information that they have there as well, so you can stay connected with them in Augusta, especially with your job seeking.
Yeah, that would be good.
Well, if you don't have any other questions, I thank you for joining us. I think a lot of folks think they know what to do when it's time to go to a job fair, and a lot of times they realize that they don't. There's always something that they probably could have done a little bit better. And we're always busy, so we thank you for taking the time out to join us. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded on YouTube, and I'll send the recording out to you. And we're looking forward to our next one, which will be the 29th at noon. 29th at noon Eastern Standard Time. And that will be the last of these 3 sessions. And the
Mhm.
purpose of these sessions were to prepare individuals for the job fair that we're having in Columbus next week, but it's
Mhm.
open to anybody who wants
Yep.
answers about how to engage with employers, no matter where you are. So we thank you so very much. You all have a
Yes.
great, great, awesome day. And thank you so much, Kathy, for this awesome